hear me. Hold on. Here, I'll mute you. I'll mute you too. So worst case scenario. Okay, guys. Let me make sure I'm currently online. Okay. So I think. Let me just double check right here. Okay, guys, how's it going? This is Rich from the Real Talks Tube. Getting into the conversation. Should we start a business in 2023? Should it be a retail business or some sort of online business? What do you guys think, people? Like, in the times that we live in, sometimes we have so much uncertainty, and I take a step back and just really, really go like, man, like, do I really want to spend that type of money right now? Do I really want to spend like a certain amount of money and go like, oh my god, I'm gonna have an issue. Like if something happens, like if I start a retail business, and worst case scenario, it like goes downhill. All the money I spent on that retail business, and it was like five to $10,000, and I could lose it all. But here's the other thing: like people go like, oh my god, you should always do something online, which would be amazing. Also, the type people go like, "Oh yeah, do online, like that." People are making so much money. You could do start a clothing store on Shopify, or go and there's all these third party websites that you can build, and next thing you know, like people are going on there and there's like starting these little businesses. But here's the thing, people, like sometimes I've done those things in the past. Like I started an online company, and I was selling t-shirts, I was doing this and doing that, and to be honest with you, like I was I was making somewhat money, but it was never like consistent. Like I know you have to keep coming out with new designs and everything, like especially t-shirts, like if you're always making like t-shirt design. But the one thing was, it never felt consistent, like it didn't feel like it was constant like movement. And that was the biggest thing, because I was actually spending money on advertising, and that advertising just killed me. I don't know if anybody's ever started a business, but I'll tell you one thing: advertising will kill anybody, man. Like I've spent so much money on advertising. So I have multiple businesses. I have a transportation company. I have a scooter business. Me, a couple friends have also started. We want to start another type of business, but you know what? Things right now, because of the economy, we're taking a step back, and we're trying to figure things out. Things are a lot more expensive. But I will tell you right now, people, in this time that we live in, oh my God, man, like I've started businesses before, and they just go down so fast. Like people said, like back in the day, like you go like, oh my God, I'd have a business, and then they give it a 1 year, like a 1 year mark. If you make it through that 1 year, you're gonna be successful. You're gonna do another thing. You're gonna be great. You're gonna make another business, and then you can have it on autopilot. Residual income, and everyone's super happy. But the truth is this, people. The truth is this, people. Does that really happen? Like right now, in this type of climate in business, like in 2023, are we really seeing things like this? Are we really seeing this type of structure? Like what do you guys think about that? Like I'd want to hear you guys' opinion. I think I'm on YouTube right now. I'm on Twitch. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. So wherever you guys are at, you know what? Hit me up with the comments. Send me a message. It'll ring on my phone, and I can take a look and see, and I can answer any questions. But the truth is this, people. I'll be completely honest with you. I do not like what I see. I will be completely honest with you. I do not like what I see. And let me tell you why. Because this is the first time ever that I start a business. And okay, one, people talk about this right now. People have been talking about this probably since, I'm gonna go maybe a couple years, but it's beyond that. They've been talking about like, oh yeah, I can't get anywhere because you know what, inflation, the cost of living, everything's going up, and I can't make any, like, I'm not making any money. There's literally, I'm living like ends meet, like I have nothing. So I really, to be honest with you, I don't like it. Like, because there's a couple reasons. One, because any type of business that you start now, I feel like it's oversaturated, meaning that there's so many people doing that same business. That's why I've always been an outside thinker. I've always thought about, like outside the box. Like, hey, if I can't do that, I'll try something else. Or if like I try that, like, let's say if I start landscaping business, and like it doesn't go well, then I'll just move on to something else. Literally now, guys, I look at things and go like, oh my god, man, is it worth my time? Because it's just sad to say this, like the type of system we're in right now, it feels like most like I see, okay, I go to like, I walk around, right? And I see all these retail shops. Like, let's talk about retail. I go to all the, like, I walk around literally day by day. Most of the time, so the businesses that I currently have right now, like the transportation business, I feel like is on autopilot. And that's the great thing about it. Like, I built that business, in 2012, and, everything's amazing. I started from the ground up. I did and before you knew it, I started one car. I had like a nice luxury vehicle. Then I moved on to two. Then I moved on to three. Then I moved on to four. And then I realized, oh my God, man, this is turning into a headache because, cars break down and it just kills everything. But that business that I started was on, it felt like literally I was like on, like, now it feels like it's on autopilot. Now moving toward the scooter business, I feel like I'm halfway there as far as autopilot. Like I've hired people to manage that business for me. Like, I have people that charge the scooters. I have people that fix the scooters. But that's the one big thing, actually. The fixing, I still need to take care of that. Like, I still need to handle that situation, because I'll be honest with you, I probably do a lot more fixing than anybody else, because, it's an awkward, like, these scooters, like, it's not that easy. Like, what I mean? Like, every component takes like 3-4 different things to get to that other component. So it's just like, it's not that something I make up and go like, oh my God, like I'm gonna actually do that. And like, before you know it, everything's gonna be okay. But it's somewhat there as far as autopilot. And when I say autopilot, guys, that means like residual income. That means like now I can depend on that money. Like, the transportation business now, like I'll give you an example, like the cars that I own, like, it's actually allowed me to, sometimes I take out loans on some vehicles and it's on autopilot. Like, I make my payments every month and it feels amazing. Like, I'm actually able to do that. Like literally right now, I take a step back and I'm like, oh, can we actually start a business in 2023 and actually make it become successful? My answer, I'll be honest, I'm always optimistic. I think, yes, we can. Is it easy? No. In life, nothing's going to be easy, especially in business. I feel, okay, in business, I'm going to tell everyone right now, if you're in any type of business, it's a 24-hour job. I'm going to be honest with you. That's how crazy it is. I don't want to be like one of those guys that sounds like a jerk or sounds like a type of person like, oh my God, like this guy is actually saying things that, it's scary. But the truth is this, guys. Some people are meant for business and some people are not going to be meant for it. I'm going to be honest with you. At times I've been like more stressed out than I've probably been in my entire life, because I've been building businesses and I've been trying to figure out what the next thing is going to be. In 2023, like, I'll go back to 2022. 2022, I was starting to do the same thing, like figure out what type of business I was going to get into, and it didn't really work out. I was like, oh my God, okay, we'll see what happens, and it's because, a lot of stuff, man, it just like, there's a lot of like, state laws, there's a lot of city laws, there's a lot of things. So anytime you start a business, you always want to make sure you look into that. You always want to take your time and really do your studying, like really take your time and do that. Because the thing is, sometimes we're so we're dreamers that we go like, especially like me being an entrepreneur, I've always been the type of person, like, I'm like, man, okay, can we do this? Okay, let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's move. Let's move. Let's move. And then before you know it, I'm actually like doing it, man. Like, I'm actually at that next level. Like, I'm actually moving, like, to do whatever I do. And then people look at me and go like, wait, what? Like, what do you do? Like, you just said you were going to do that like a month ago and you actually started that? And I've always been that type of person, people. Like, I've always been that type of person that just really, really, really like my heart's, like, I put my heart, like, I'll give you my heart. And that's why, like, one of the biggest things for me was just really realizing like, hey man, like I can continue to keep doing this. Like in my 20s, I'm in my 30s now. So when I was in my 20s, I was like one of those like Wild Wild West cowboys. Like I'm like, let's ride. You know what I mean? Let's ride, let's go, let's do what we gotta do. Like I do a drive, you know, like if I knew like I could go, if I knew I lived in like Santa Barbara and I was like, okay, there was an opportunity in Los Angeles, or like go pick something up and then you could flip it and make money off of it, I would try to go ahead and do it. Like, you know how like you see sometimes ads like, oh yeah, go pick up a bicycle, you know, it looks too good to be true, and then it's like you buy a bike that costs maybe $500 and then you can flip and sell it for like 1,000 or 1,500. I would go ahead and do that. But now in this time, like I'm at the point now that I look at things and go like, man, I'm not gonna do that. Like I like, even though like I've seen so many good like flips, I've seen so many good like things that like offers and like stuff that like could potentially make us a lot more money. I can't do it. And I'm gonna tell you one thing. It's not that I can't physically like what's what I'm looking for? It doesn't mean like I like, oh man, something's wrong with me. It just means like, man, like I just don't want to deal with the time, like how much time it truly takes. And I know sometimes like in business, like I can't think this way. But you know what? The biggest thing for me, guys, in today's time is very valuable. And it's always been valuable. Right now in my 30s, I'm like, man, like I really, really, really focus on time. Like really focus on time, people. And I will tell you one thing, man. Like I'm the type of person that's very optimistic. Like I like, man, if there's any good idea out there and someone's really trying to do, like anybody want to start, like I was talking to one of my friends, like he was looking into like a coffee shop or some sort of business like that. And the good thing about it is like I'm going like, okay, we're checking the area out, location. I'm like everything. I'm always the type of person, man, like I'll tell you like, hey man, this is actually a really good idea, or this is like, man, it's all about location. We got to figure out like how much money is it gonna cost? Because the truth is this, man. People were truly. Hold on, guys. This thing looks like it's like. I gotta fix this. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Okay, there we go. There we go. Right there. Okay, beautiful. I'm gonna tell you like this. People that sell a business. People that sell a business. Usually. They don't sell it for a cheap price that we would look into. Like we're not, when someone's selling a business, right? How much time has been put into it? How much the location cost? If it was bought, if it was rented, most businesses leased. So they sign multiple years, and then before you know it, they're spending all this money and like at monthly and everything. So at the end of the day, I look at it like it's not in our favor. As far as like when we go online looking for a business like on the marketplace, doesn't mean we can't find a good deal. I'm not saying we can't find a good deal. Absolutely 110%. I know we can find a good deal. But the thing is, it goes back to that time. Time is so precious. How much time are you going to take? Like, what are you truly going to be looking at? People say, oh yeah, I'm going to start a car, one of those car mobile businesses, like the car wash businesses. And I look at it and go like, man, that's actually a good business because it doesn't cost that much to start. You can actually start a car mobile business for like $1,500, $2,000. And that's why a lot of people do it. The same thing with carpet cleaning. People end up doing that, and before you know it, they have a carpet cleaning business, and they have like a van, and they move around, and they're going left and right. But one of the biggest things for me is like, what else? Like, all I'm saying is like, I'm in a situation right now that I truly don't know what can hit in 2023 other than big impact ideas. And when I mean big impact ideas, I mean like real estate, like buying apartment buildings, buying like huge commercial size buildings and doing this and doing that, like ways that make big money. Like, you know what they say all the time, like money makes money, those types of businesses. And like a business that's going down under, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm selling it, and like before you know it, I'll get into it, and maybe I can make some money. Like, you know, like maybe let's say an owner selling a business on the marketplace. You know, they're like, hey man, $5,000, you get the business, you get everything set up. And then the thing is, most of the time, people sell a business for a reason. You know, one of them could be a divorce. One of them could be the economy, everything going downhill. Another one could be like, you know, like I'll be honest with you. I bought a I started a okay, this was a business I started like in 2020, like when I'm talking like when the freaking like the economy, everything, COVID was crazy. And I started a business, like someone was selling on the marketplace like one of those steam cleaners. So he's like, hey man, the steam cleaner cost me $3,500. I'm selling it for $1,000. I went over there. I was like, you know what? This actually sounds like a good idea, because it wasn't just a steam cleaner. It was like it killed bacteria, it killed everything. So I was like, you know what? In my head, going like, man, this would actually be a good business for me to get into right now, and I could make some decent money. So I went over there to the guy and I looked at the business and I was like, hey man, I looked at what he had. He had the steamer. Excuse. He had the steamer, and next thing you know, I'm in my head going like, okay, how much you want? You said 1,000. And then I think, you know, I was like, oh, okay, you know, this and that. I think there was a part that was missing. So I was like, you know what, can you do $800? So he's like, okay, yeah, I'll do $800. And I'm like, before that, I think I was like, why are you selling the business? And he ended up telling me, he's like, oh man, you know, I'm not doing so good right now. I actually had a kidney transplant. And I'm like, oh man, okay, yeah. I think he was just dealing with some health issues, and I was like, yeah, no problem, man. Like, I'll pick it up, you know. Thanks, man. And I bought it. You know, I bought it for $800. And did I use it? Yes. Did I make some money on it? Yes. Was it a lot? No. It promised all these things. Like when I went on the website, it said it killed bacteria. You could use it for car detailing. You could use it for rims. You could use it for like carpets. I mean, it had everything, man. This thing was like a business in a machine, you know, like a machine, you know, like a little business that, you know, you could function and do everything. And in my head, I'm going like, man, like this is good. So I actually started using it, and I started like, I mean, I'd have to go thinking. Okay, so I started in the car detailing business a little bit. I was like, you know what? People actually look for these car dealers all the time on the marketplace. And so I posted an ad. You know, it was a free ad. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and try this out. So I got a couple bookings on that. Like I got a couple reservations on that, which was awesome. I think I made probably, yeah, I made way more money than what I paid for that business. For the $800 that I spent, I probably made like $1,800. So it was a good investment, because I made 1,800. You know, I made 1,800. I spent 800, so I made a profit. But the one thing about it was, like, I really look at that now, and I'm like in my head going like, I see businesses like that, like all the time, and I'm like in my head going like, should I actually get into that? Like now, like especially nowadays, like should I get into that? Because I'm going like, Jesus, man, like why would I even like take my time, you know? Like, you know, it's crazy, man. And I think we got a follower right here, basically saying the same thing I said about the inflation. Shout out, hey, what's up, Nick? Basically, he's just talking about inflation, economy right now, how bad like inflation is, like how high, you know, the cost of living. Basically, the start of business is super hard. I agree with you. Is it impossible? No, I don't think it's impossible. What do you guys think? Do you guys think it's impossible? I mean, I'll be honest with you. Look, I started another business right here. You know, I'm on YouTube. I'm on Twitch. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm having great conversations. Do we have a lot of followers right now watching the videos? No. Did Mr. Beast have a lot of followers when he first started? No! Guys, we all have to start somewhere. Nowadays, people want, hey man, $1 million at the end of the month. It doesn't work that way. So, yes, like, am I okay with like going online and having a couple people watch the video? Yes, because eventually this was what happens. People talk. People spread the word. People watch the videos. See, this becomes another business. This becomes entertainment. People start to go, man, like this is actually something cool. I'll look into it. You know what I mean? Most people do this. I mean, they like, oh, okay, like I'll get into this. You know what I mean? I'll start something. I'll start a social media business, or like I'll start some sort of like like YouTube or this and that. And I'm like, hey man, if you feel like you can do that, go ahead and do it. I've always been so optimistic that I look at the world and go like this. Positivity is key. If you want to make it, you need to be positive. You can't hang around with people that tell you no, 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 no. Because you know what's going to happen to a yes man when he hears no, no, no? Eventually you're going to say no. That's how crazy it is. And this is the truth. That's why when I built this channel, The Real Talks Tube, we talk about real things. Talk about real life. Listen, it's up to you guys. You can either watch me talk about real information, give you real information, talk about real life, talk about being realistic, or you can go watch a fake person. You can watch a fake channel. And it's sad to say this, but it's the truth. Most of the time, and the thing about it is this, obviously, when someone's, have you ever heard the saying controversy is key? Like people actually, like they follow controversy? 110%. They don't want to hear the boring guy on the other side of the table going like, hey man, what's this guy like talking about? He sounds boring. They want to hear Andrew Tate, man, talk about, hey man, this is how you make money. Like if you don't do it this way, you gonna do it that way. Or if you think broke, you will be broke. It's true on things that they talk about, but once again, it's all information that can be sent and heard, and everyone has an opinion. Take it how it is. They're all opinions. They're all like answers. People say, hey man, you want to make $1 million? You want to make it, you want to make money? Sign up for this. If the first thing you hear online is, hey man, sign up for this and I'll make you a millionaire, that person's trying to become a millionaire because of you. That person, the only way they're making money is because you're signing up for that crap. It's the truth. I don't know what else you could say. It's completely true. 110%. I tell you, man, now in the times that we live, I feel like I see so much. It's sad to say, but it's BS, man. It's a lot of fake. And people want that. Some people fall for that. I'll tell you one thing. I feel like I'm at the age now that I know I call BS when I see it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna be like sitting back and going like, oh my God, like this guy's actually telling me something, and I'm like, man, actually really, really, I might actually go like, this guy's telling me I'm gonna make $1 million if I sign up for this, and he's actually seeing results, and like other people are talking about it. Okay, most of the time people are doing this, people. If people are, let's say some guy, right? Some random person wants to make $1 million. It's like they try to do it by taking other people's money, no matter what. Obviously you would think you would know that. But the way that they do it is so deceiving that they make a website, right? And they say, hey man, I got a really good program. Like this is actually working for people. they get a whole bunch of people that are on their team, people. Or like they get fakes, like straight up. Like you can fake stuff now. Like I'll tell you, like you could pay like companies to like put ads up or like do a whole bunch of stuff or like put fake reviews and bam. So these people do that all the time, and before you know it, these people actually, what's the word I'm looking for? Like people actually like random people that are looking for a job and like wanting to start a business in 2023, they fall for it. They actually fall for it. And the truth is, man, I mean, once they fall for it, I'll be honest with you, at one time in my life, I was victim to, being scammed. I fell for a couple of things because, like I was so, once again, optimistic, and I always thought everything could work, and people would tell me like they give me the world, say, hey, you could do this and you could do that. And before you know it, I try it and they're like, oh yeah, we just closed shop. And like, I lose some money. I'm like, oh my God, man. Like I just lost $1,500. So now, I mean, those things actually, I will say this. I mean, for me, they taught me to be a lot stronger, like a lot smarter with my decision making in business. Make sure I hung out with the right people because, um, involving yourself with the wrong people can kill you at times, because even though you got like, even though you're not doing something, like you're like, man, okay, I'm smart. I'm not gonna, like, no one's gonna like take me for a fool, like basically. But those people putting you in situations day by day, like, random people that you hang out with, like the people that don't want the best for you, they put you in those situations, and then before you know it, you actually make that bad decision. So I've been in that situation. I mean, I've been in those situations. Does it hurt? Absolutely. Do you lose money? Absolutely. I mean, it's crazy to say this, but sometimes you take a step back and you're like, man, like, what did I do? Why did I get into that? I mean, I think we've all been there, right? I know I have. I mean, it's sad, right? But the thing about it is I look at things and go, man, like at one time, like I was like, I mean, like, last video we talked about was like, hey man, how can I become a millionaire at the age of 30? And I was always thinking like that, in my 20s, moving towards my 30s. And the thing is, like, when money's not coming, like actually coming in, you're like, you feel vulnerable, and you feel like very, very, like, you feel like a failure. And that's the thing that hurts, man. Like it hurt me, man. Like at times when I felt like I failed, I'd go like, man, like how can I make some extra money? Like maybe I could go sell a product, or no, not even that. Like I mean, I'll be honest with you. Even at times you'd want to go to the casino and be like, man, like okay, I didn't make any money this week. Maybe I can make, like, go play, blackjack, and maybe I'll make $500, or like everything. But before you know it, you lose $500. So, I mean, these are things that we talk about in life, guys. Once again, this is the reason why I started the Real Talks Tube. It took me a while to truly understand, like, man, like, what am I really gonna, like, how am I really gonna do this? Like, what am I gonna talk about? And the truth is, like, talk about real life, man. Talk about the real. Talk about all the things that are going on around us. Like, we could continue to talk day by day and just figure out, man, like, this is crazy. I mean, we're talking about, like, can we start a business in 2023, people? Like, if it wasn't, if I felt, right, that I didn't have to write a caption, like I didn't have to write a title like that, I wouldn't write that. But it's at the point now in 2023, like I'm going to even say 22, because I was thinking like that too, 22, 23, that it just starts to go like, man, should I actually do something? Like, should I actually get into that? Should I actually start that business? So, I mean, I ask you people, everyone that's watching, on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram. I think we got a couple, YouTube. Okay, we got a couple people asking questions. But okay, one basic thing that I'll tell you is this. And this is my main question to you guys. And you guys, I know, man, listen, if you guys aren't watching the video right now, hey, man, I completely understand. I know, hey, you got life. You know, you got to go pick up the kids, or you got to go to school, you got to go home. You got to, I mean, you're on the freeway. You know, I'm not saying you got to make sure you keep that phone. When you're on the freeway and you're driving, you better put that phone away. Because, you know, those cops, I mean, they're not playing. You know, they'll get you. They'll get you. But the one thing about it is this, guys. Can you start a business in 2023? I'd love to hear it in the comments. I really would. Because you know what? I will say this. Actually, whoever watches it, like on Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, all, you know, social media accounts, will actually be able, like, someone will actually read it. Like, actually, there'll be people that read the comments and they'll read it. And you know what? You might be able to save them a headache. You might actually give them a good idea to want to start something. You know, it's all up to you guys. Like, that's why I ask you guys, is it worth starting a business in 2023? Okay, guys, this is Rich from the Real Talks Tube. We will see you next time. Peace.